The forest is darker tonight than it's ever been. The shadows stretch longer, the trees more menacing, as if they're closing in on me, trying to suffocate the last breath out of my weary soul. The wind doesn't sing anymore. It screams through the branches, a twisted lullaby of despair. Even the moon, my only source of light in this endless night, hides its face, as if it's ashamed to witness what I've become. I'm surrounded by darkness, swallowed by it, and yet, here I am, still standing, still breathing, still refusing to give up. You know, there's a voice inside me that whispers, just let go. It's easier that way. Let the darkness take you, and the pain will end. And maybe it's right. Maybe if I just surrendered, I could finally find some peace in this war-torn world. But I can't do that. I won't do that. Not because I'm some kind of hero, or because I've got a heart of steel. No, I'm scared, I'm hurt, and I'm tired. But there's one thing that keeps me going, one thing that burns inside me, even when everything else is falling apart. Hope. Hope. It sounds almost laughable, doesn't it? In a world as twisted and broken as this one, hope feels like a cruel joke, a false promise that leads you down a path of disappointment. But I'm telling you, hope is the only thing that's kept me from crumbling into dust. It's the only thing that stands between me and the abyss that's always waiting, just a step behind me. I've seen too much, suffered too much, to let go of that tiny spark that keeps me alive. This world, it's relentless. It doesn't care who you are, what you've been through, or how much you've fought to survive. It'll rip you apart, limb from limb, if you let it. It'll strip you down to nothing, leave you bleeding and broken on the ground. And then it'll walk away, indifferent to your pain. But you can't let it win. You can't let the darkness swallow you whole. You've got to fight back, even when every bone in your body is screaming for you to stay down, to give up. You've got to dig deep, find that fire inside you, and let it burn brighter than the darkness around you. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that life is easy, that everything's gonna be okay if you just keep your chin up. That's not how this works. Life is brutal. It's a constant barrage of pain, of loss, of battles. You're not always gonna win, but it's those battles, those losses, that shape you. They carve out the person you're meant to be. They force you to grow, to become stronger, even when it feels like you're being torn apart from the inside out. It's not easy, it's not fair, but it's real. And that's what makes it worth fighting for. You're gonna go through periods where it feels like the whole world is against you. Like every step you take is a step deeper into the darkness. It's gonna feel like you're trapped, like there's no way out. Because as long as you're still breathing, as long as there's a heartbeat in your chest, there's hope. And hope is stronger than any darkness, any pain, any loss you'll ever face. I've cried more tears than I ever thought possible. I've shed more blood than I ever wanted to. And there have been times when I thought I couldn't go on, when the pain was too much to bear. But every tear, every drop of blood, it's a reminder that I'm alive, that I'm still here, still fighting. And as long as I'm still fighting, there's a chance to find the light, to claw my way out of this darkness, to make something better of this life. It's easy to give up, to let the world break you down until there's nothing left. But that's not who I am. That's not who we are. We're fighters. We're warriors. We're survivors. And we've got something that this world can't take away from us. Our will, our determination, our belief that no matter how dark it gets, no matter how deep the pain cuts, there's always a way out. There's always a light at the end of it all, even if we can't see it yet. You gotta trust in yourself. You gotta trust that you're strong enough to get through this, even when everything around you is telling you otherwise. And yeah, trust in God too, if that's what keeps you going. Because sometimes it feels like we're walking through this life blind, stumbling through the dark, not knowing where we're going, just hoping we don't fall off the edge. But you know what? That's okay. It's okay to be afraid, to not have all the answers, to not know what's gonna happen next. That's part of being alive. That's part of the journey. And that journey, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna test you in ways you never imagined. You're gonna face challenges that seem impossible. You're gonna be knocked down more times than you can count. And there are gonna be days when you wonder if it's all worth it. But those are the days that define you. Those are the days that prove what you're made of. 'Cause if you can get through that, if you can keep moving forward even when everything inside you is screaming to stop, then there's nothing in this world that can hold you back. I've been through hell. I've walked through fire. I've faced demons that would make most people run for their lives. And I'm still here. I'm still standing. Not because I'm unbreakable, not because I'm invincible, but because I refuse to let the darkness win. I refuse to let it take away the one thing that keeps me going: hope. And that hope, it's not just for me. It's for all of us. It's for every single soul that's ever felt like they were drowning in the darkness, like there was no way out. It's for everyone who's ever cried themselves to sleep, who's ever looked in the mirror and wondered if they were strong enough to keep going. Because the truth is, we are strong enough. We are stronger than we give ourselves credit for. And as long as we hold on to that hope, as long as we keep fighting, we can get through anything. You gotta live life with pure intention. You gotta put your heart and soul into everything you do, even when it feels like the world is trying to tear you down, because that's the only way to make it through. That's the only way to rise above the darkness, to find the light that's hidden beneath all the pain, all the suffering. And it's there. I know it is. I've seen glimpses of it, felt its warmth on my skin, even in the darkest of nights. But you can't find it if you give up. You can't find it if you let the darkness consume you. You've got to keep moving forward, one step at a time, even when it feels like you're walking through hell. You've got to trust that there's something better waiting for you on the other side, something worth all the pain, all the tears, all the blood, because there has to be. You gotta trust in yourself. You gotta trust that you're strong enough to get through this, even when everything around you is telling you otherwise. And yeah, trust in God too, if that's what keeps you going. Because sometimes it feels like we're walking through this life blind, stumbling through the dark, not knowing where we're going, just hoping we don't fall off the edge. But you know what? That's okay. It's okay to be afraid, to not have all the... I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. I'm not saying you're not gonna want to give up, to throw in the towel and let the world win. But that's not an option. Not for us. Not for warriors like us. We don't give up. We don't let the darkness win. We fight with everything we've got until there's nothing left to give. And even then, we find a way to keep going, to keep pushing forward, because that's what we do. That's who we are. I've seen what happens to those who give up, who let the darkness take over. They fade away, become nothing more than shadows of who they used to be. But that's not us. That's not who we're meant to be. We are meant for more than that. We are meant to rise above the darkness, to find the light that's hidden within us, and to let it shine brighter than anything this world can throw at us. So no, I won't give up. I won't let this darkness define me. I won't let it break me down, no matter how hard it tries. I'm gonna rise above it. I'm gonna keep moving forward. And I'm gonna do it with everything I've got. Because that's what we do. We survive. We fight. We hope. And one day, we're gonna look back at all this pain, all this suffering, and we're gonna see it for what it really is. A testament to our strength, to our resilience. A reminder that no matter how dark the world gets, no matter how much it tries to break us, we're always gonna find our way through. And when we do, we'll know that it was all worth it. That every long as I've got that, I know I can face anything this world throws at me.